Hello friends, and welcome to the channel. This is Stormhaven Gaming, I'm John, and this is Timberborn. Okay, we are on day 4 of cycle 8. We're doing okay, we have plenty of food, a decent supply of water. We are building up our resources here, so we've got a few gears, plenty of planks, we've got a little bit of scrap metal. We've started to produce canola oil. Canola seeds and cassavas and eggplants, all of which need to be processed. Well, the oil doesn't, but it needs to be used in other things. Lots of berries, lots of fermented cassavas, some kohlrabis, and a handful of mangrove fruits. Yeah, we're doing okay. I have just cleared out the dead berry bushes that were here that I killed by letting bad water through this floodgate. I have I finally turned off these two power wheels. I did have beavers unfairly running in there, providing useless power, because this is providing more than what we need. It's slowed right down currently, but this kind of varies between 300 and 1,000, depending on the flow rate. So it's not steady power, but it is more than we need, so that's fine. And I was thinking it's probably a good idea at some point to connect some batteries to this, to store up a bit of power. But not yet. We have other things to be getting on with. I do have a medium tank here to store canola oil in. We have a water tank over here that is now full, which is nice. And up here we are collecting scrap metal. And we have our power wheels in the bad water here. So these are providing 236 power, fairly steadily. And what we want to put up here is a smelter. We need 300 science for that. We have 220. That's fine. That won't be long. But we're going to put this up here and connect it to these power wheels. I do want them off of the contaminated soil as much as possible, so do you know, I might even stretch the power all the way down here so we can build our smelter on this side where there is no contamination. That's not a bad idea, actually. Okay, let's delete that path. We can delete that path. Okay, so power structure, we will bring it, might as well bring it out of this side. Actually, no. I will bring it further down. I will put a cross junction in, and then we will come out this way, and we can put our smelter in somewhere down here where it's not going to be affected by the corruption there. Okay, what else do we need? Well, I was going to put in more food, but we're actually doing okay for food. We're doing really well for food, so I think we might actually want to start looking at speeding up the population increase. So, I'm going to put in another breeding pod. That might be a mistake, but we'll find out. And really, I want to build up some science points. We have plenty of housing. We have 12 housing spaces and room in there to fit in another lodge when we need it. And obviously room out here when we need it. Okay. Yeah, really all I can do at the moment is spin on until we get the science points for the smelter. So I shall do that. Okay, day 7 and we've got our science points up together, so let's unlock... Nope, we want metal. Let's unlock the smelter. Okay, and we will pop that right on the edge there if we can. Yes, we can. Okay. Now, let's bring the power to it. No, I'll just bring it around the edge. I was going to put in another junction, but I don't think I need to. I will put one in here, though, just in case. We'll put a cross junction in there. And then we'll just come straight across into there. Okay. What does that need to make? That needs scrap metal, gears, and planks. Gears, we have enough. Planks, we definitely have enough. And scrap metal, we have enough. So, that should get put together fairly quickly. We've definitely got the logs to put the power in. We only have one spare beaver at the moment. That's fine. We will get more soon. We have 4 children. We have 1 breeding pod about to pop. So yeah, that should catch up. That shouldn't be a problem, assuming we can, you know, match the death rate, which is basically what we're doing at the moment. Pretty much birth for death at the moment, so we do need that extra breeding pod. Now, what is the next step then? We're making metal. I've put in some additional storage for the metal down here. We did come across and clear this, and we were thinking about using this for either wood or food. I think wood is probably more important at the moment, but we've also got this space over here. Now, this is going to get polluted during the bad tide. But sorry, I'm just thinking, could we fertilise this the old-fashioned way? And by which I mean researching explosives and blowing a hole in the ground and filling it with water. Would that fight against the pollution? Or would the pollution just spread across it anyway? Because it tends to spread across fertile ground like this, doesn't it? Okay, that's worth thinking about. Obviously, we don't have access to explosives yet, and we won't for a while. But that's worth thinking about. We've also got all this space up here, which, if we get some dynamite and level this out, this will give us a nice big flat area to fertilise and use for farming. It is a much smaller map than I'm used to. It really is. I've not really played on a map this small before. Every inch of space is important. So yeah. And speaking of which, we don't really want all this space up here. I mean, we could eventually just keep a little rim there, essentially, around the bad tide. The bad water generation blocks, which are in here. Oh, that was something else. I want to check whether or not we can build levees on top of platforms. I'm pretty sure we can't. I know we never used to be able to. But I do want to just double check that. So let's pop a platform in there. And we'll prioritise that. In fact, we probably don't even need to do that, do we? Yeah, we can't build a levee on top of platforms. That's answered that question. So I can't build an aqueduct to bring the bad water off the map that way. And we can't build tunnels or anything. No. See, that'd be nice, being able to put dirt blocks on top of platforms. Treat the platforms like supports in a tunnel. That would be nice. But we can't, so that's that out of the question, really. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I say I was thinking about just building a massive reservoir for the bad water to prevent it flowing into here. And putting a channel across this flow. So when the drought hits and all of this dries up, just unleashing the bad water from the reservoir and flush it out this way off of the map. So it never interacts with the actual water. That was my plan. I don't know whether that would work, because I don't really know how much of this bad water comes out, if you know what I mean. how quickly a reservoir would fill, whether we'd have it, you know, enough space in the reservoir to hold all of the bad water between the droughts. I do like that idea, though. That's a long way in the future. Right, for now, we need to concentrate on getting this smelter built and start producing metal blocks. Okay, and there's our last power shaft going in. Any second, there we go. Well done. Now we have power, 100% power, because we only need 200 horsepower, and we are getting 236, which is nice. So now we will start to produce metal blocks. That's good, because we need metal blocks to be able to produce... Where are we? The food factory. We need 10 of them. We also need 300 more science points, but that's beside the point. But yes, we want to be able to put that in. That's another 120 horsepower, which we should be able to provide off of these water wheels, at least during full flow. Yeah. I mean, it might be worth putting power wheels in here for the bad tide as well. It would only produce a little bit of power when the bad tide is happening, but might be worth it. How are we doing? We're building up a small supply of oil there. I've noticed our water pumps are going pretty much constantly. So that means that, I mean, we're basically maxing our water out just before the end of the day, generally. So we could probably do with a little bit more water storage. We've got a little bit over here. Or do we want more pumps? Is it worth putting in another pump up here? Yeah, it probably is, isn't it? If we put a pump in here... just there. Oops, it was facing the right way, like that. Obviously this won't work during the bad tide, but eventually we can use it to pump bad water eventually, I think, when we need that. And it might actually be worth putting some more water storage in. Yeah. Let's get some up this end, shall we? Let's go for a small tank in there. Like so. Then these beavers don't need to go very far. That is out of the corruption, so it should be okay. I don't know if water stored in corrupted ground becomes corrupted itself. No idea. Don't really want to risk trying to find out. Okay. What next? We need to build our population, really. Yeah, we've got no available workers. That is full. That's good. Yeah, we need to wait until we get a few more grown-ups. We might need to put in some more housing at some point, but... yeah, we need to build up our population. We need to build up our science points, so I'll spin on... what are we on? Day 9. I'll probably end up spinning on until the start of the next drought. I really want to get them building something, though. Okay. Okay, yes, let's do this then. Let's come down this way. And across to here. We will need to demolish all of this. And then we'll replace that with the bridge, and then we'll come along to about there. That's probably good. Okay, and we'll put in some steps up, and then we will start laying in levees and dams across there. So that will give us another reservoir and will prevent the bad water coming back during the drought. Okay. I'll spin on and let them get on with all of that. And there's the drought. It's going to be 9 days. Ooh, that's a bit Spicy. We should be alright, though. I've closed up the floodgates here. We've managed to get down to start building this dam across here. So obviously it's not going to work for us yet. But we do have our 2 lagoons here. We have this one up here. We should be okay. I did put in some more water storage. So we're now over 600 water. We've got 865 food. So that should last us. Yeah, we might need to turn these power wheels back on. Yeah, this is already slowing right down. This, however, is holding steady. So that's fine. Yeah, we might need to turn those wheels back on in order to get enough power through to run all of this. We could turn the lumber mill off for the moment, actually. We have a fair amount of stored planks, so that's fine. Obviously, we are going to be using them down here. But, yeah. We can turn that back on as and when we need to. Okay. We should be fine. We should be okay. 9 days is obviously a long one, but everything is set up so we can cope with it. Okay. What else do we need? Well, what I need to do is obviously build up the last few points to get the food factory. I think we now have the resources to actually build it. 40 planks, 15 gears, and 10 metal blocks. So yeah, we have the stuff we need. It's 120 horsepower. I mean, yeah, we're getting 100 out of this now. We definitely need these switched back on. What's least important? Probably the gears at the moment. Actually, no, probably the oil at the moment. So we'll switch that off as well. And when the beavers turn up to actually run these power wheels, we'll see. Oh, there's one. Okay, so that's all right. So with one, it's pretty close to 100%. That's fine. We're happy with that. Good, good, good. Yeah, so I just need to let them build that, get the last few points in. I probably won't... I might put it in before the end of the drought. I'll have a look. I'll wait until I've got the 300 and then I'll come back. Okay, that didn't take long. We have the 300 we need. Where are we? Food. Food factory. There we go. Let's unlock it and... Actually, it'll fit quite nicely in there, won't it? Yeah, let's stick it in. We won't turn it on yet, and we want it to be making eggplant rations. But yeah, as I say, we won't turn it on until it's until the waters return. So they've got, 8 days to build it. Okay. They also have 8 days to build all of this, so I will spin on until the end of the drought. And that's the end of the drought. We did absolutely fine. We've taken quite a lot of water out of this section here. I did turn these 2 pumps off because we were in danger of drying this out, what with evaporation and everything. Obviously, we're not taking any water out of there, but we have still dropped down quite considerably. So, yeah, that's not ideal. Over here, our food factory is in. And obviously set up, but I've turned it off for the moment. We'll wait until the waters return. Over here, our dam is nearly complete. I did put this on very low priority because I want to make sure that we can actually flush this out efficiently once the water's returned. I didn't want this blocked off and then it take ages for the bad water to flush out of this area. So there still being a gap there is a good thing. Let's set those to 1.5. It's going to take a little while for that to fill back up, but it will do. It's fine. Yeah, everything else we did absolutely fine with. Still got nearly 1,000 food. Still got over 600 water. Yeah, absolutely fine. We have a few unemployed beavers at the moment, which is good. We'll be able to fill up our workspaces here without any trouble. Probably going to need some more housing sooner rather than later. And honestly, over here is probably the best place for it. Yeah. So let's set up some... Oops, some paths across, like so. And we'll pop in some more barracks up there. Okay. We do want some more leisure-style activities for them, don't we? We might as well put in... Let's have a look. Yeah, might as well put in a rooftop terrace down here, mightn't we? So... we'll do that. Where was it? Wellbeing. Rooftop terrace. Have some of that. And you can also have a shrub. Because I'm generous. Okay, right. Let's wait for the water to return. Make sure we can actually flush this out. I'm a little bit worried about it blocking up there, but this should fill enough for the bad water to be flushed out. That should be okay. Yeah, it looks like the water's nearly back. Okay, so I'll spin on until the water has fully returned, and then we'll turn all this on. Okay, day 3, or the start of day 3, we've still got a little bit of bad water just hanging around in here. It's occasionally getting flushed over the path. I'm going to put these back onto normal priority, so they'll come down and build them. A little bit worried that they'll run through this as the bad water here is being pushed over the path, but there's nothing I can do about that really at the moment. Over here, our new housing is in. We are producing... Ooh, nearly 1,000 power out of that at the moment. So let's turn all this back on. There we go. No free beavers. No free spaces. Nice. Okay, so that should now start producing eggplant rations. We have some storage set over here for eggplant rations once they're made. We have... Oops. Just clicking on everything, John. We have a fair amount of oil stored up, and we are now producing it again, so that's good. We have plenty of seeds, so yeah. Okay, what do I want to do next? I want to get this finished. That shouldn't take too long now. Really, we need more industry. What do we need next? Let's have a look. I mean, we are going to need the wood workshop eventually. Coffee. We could grow coffee. So I need a forester to plant coffee. Okay. Well, we can pause you for the moment because we don't need you. We'll keep the building, but we'll shut you down. Okay, so another forester out here and some coffee fields. Okay, yes, why not? Let's bring a path straight up there. We will put the forester just there. And we'll get a bunch of coffee in there to grow. Presumably we'll need a gatherer as well. But we can actually demolish this lumberjack and pop a gatherer in its place because it will have the reach to come up here. That's good. Okay. So they can get on with that. Right. I will spin on until all this building work is done. Day 9 of cycle 9. As you can see here, we've got our dam finished. So we've got another little reservoir here. And over in the distance there you can see our forestry is in. And we are planting up coffee over here. I've left this gatherer switched on because they can just about reach that back strip of mangrove trees. So they've been collecting mangrove fruits as well. which, yeah, that's fine. How long do these take to grow? 9 days to grow, and then another 3 days to mature. And I don't know if they just pick the beans and then the beans will regrow, like the mangrove fruits, or whether the plants need replanting once they've been harvested. No idea. I've set up some storage for coffee beans over here as well. Over here, our storage for eggplant rations is already full. Food-wise, we're at 1.2 thousand. Pretty much our storage for all types of food is full. I mean, it's a nice problem to have. Probably going to want to look at more storage at some point. Probably larger storage as well, but for the moment we won't. Yeah, so next I'm going to need to be looking at a coffee brewery. I can afford it. It's 500 points. But I do need treated planks for it. So, what I am going to do... What am I going to do? I am going to plant up a little stand of pine just in there. And I'm going to make sure this is unmarked for cutting. All of this. Yeah, all that needs to be unmarked for cutting. And then... Oh, that's 500 as well. Okay, well, we'll unlock the tapper's shack. And we'll put that in next to the forestry there. Yeah, okay. So we'll get a little stand of pine. We'll be able to harvest pine resin. I think that needs to be stored in a warehouse. Yes, it does. So I'll need another warehouse up here. That's fine. We can stick one on top of there, can't we? Like so. And you store pine resin. Okay. So once that's all in, we'll need to look at the wood workshop, for which we need logs, planks, and gears, which we're fine for, but we need 800 science. That'll take a while. We have the spare beavers. I'm going to put in... I'll put it in there. Another inventor. In fact, is it worth... It might be. Is it worth doing what we did in the last playthrough? I'll do that. I'll set up another 2, so that gives us 5. Yeah. And I'll put those on lowish priority. So they'll work there before they work in the Hauler's Lodge. Okay. Yes. That's stuff to be building. I will spin on. And there's the next drought. 6 days, so this should be easy. Again, it is a drought. I've closed off this. I was a little overzealous with the floodgates there. I closed them a little early, so we have a little bit of spillage, but it's fine. That's now very full, so that's good. I'm going to turn these off right away so that we can serve as much water as possible in here. Over here, we are planted up with pine trees and coffee. We're nearly done on the growth on some of these coffee beans. And then we've got another 3 days before they become harvestable. This back end here, couple of rows, they might die during the drought because this water is going to decrease a little as we go through. So we might lose fertility on that back row, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Over here, I'm going to... Let's turn off the food factory. Let's turn off the lumber mill, and let's turn off the gear workshop. We'll keep the oil press and the fermenter going. basically give this a chance to catch up on the oil that's been used at a fair rate by the food factory. This is using oil quicker than this can produce it, so give that a chance to catch back up. Will be good. Food-wise, we are great. We've got a lot of stuff stored. I did put in some additional storage for mangrove fruits here, and that's almost full already, and we still have more to harvest. I've put in, obviously, storage over here for pine resin and coffee beans. Yeah, we'll find out soon whether or not they actually take the whole plant out once they harvest it. Whether we need this active or not to replace those. Other than that, I'm looking at what we're going to do next in terms of buildings. We do need the wood workshop, which is 800 science. We've got 628, so that's fine. But how we're going to power it, I don't know. It's an additional 250 horsepower, so during normal flow seasons, we could put it on the end there and allow it to use the power off of here. That should be fine. I think we probably need to put in... either put it down here and have the path loop round to the front door, or put in platforms here to be able to bring it in line with this path. Either way. Obviously cheaper on resources if we put it down this way and bring the path round to meet it, but it will look untidy, and I'm not sure I like that. But we'll see. Yeah, other than that, it's just going to be a case of playing on, I think. Oh, you know what I could do? Could unlock the engine and put the wood workshop and the coffee brewery over here, powered off of an engine. That is an additional 400. I could put power wheels up here, but they would only run during normal tides and bad tides. It wouldn't work during the flood. During the drought, rather. And I'd need to figure out the best place to put the wheels. Would probably be over here. And if I used the large water wheels, we'd get more power anyway. That's an idea. But then that would mean, obviously, during the bad tides, they'd be working in corrupted land. Unless I put... unless I do what I did up here and stretch it way away from the edge of the water. Don't know. Don't know. Definitely, I think I'll definitely put in the wood workshop over here. That's probably best. We don't need it running all the time. We only need to sort of build up a stock and then turn it off and turn it back on once we're using those planks again. At least, I don't know though. I think later on we do need more. No, I think the engine is probably the better bet. Okay, so what am I going to need? I'm going to need 800 for that. I'm going to need 400 for that. 1200. And I'm going to need another 500. I'm going to need 1700 science points in total. I have 11 unemployed currently. Let's put in another couple of inventors' huts, shall we? We'll do the same with the workplace priority. Okay. I'll spin on till the end of the drought. And there's the end of the drought. We did fine. Again, I did turn these pumps off. We've dropped down to 500 water, which is fine. That's absolutely fine. We can turn these back on shortly anyway. Food-wise, we're down to 1.1 thousand. That's fine. I am putting in... I have unlocked and I'm putting in the wood workshop over here. And I decided to put it in like that. To save resources, basically. Over here, our coffee seeds are... coffee beans are being harvested, and it doesn't destroy the bush. The beans just regrow on it, so I've paused the forester. We don't need it anymore. Our pine trees are starting to grow, so we've got about another 6 or 7 days before they start producing pine resin. We have 470 science points, which means we don't have enough to unlock the brewery. And we don't have enough to unlock... we do have enough to unlock the engine, but we need 900 in total for both. And I think I'm going to put those over here. Probably the best bet. Yeah, that's where we are. We are going to leave it there for this episode. We've done really well, actually. We've expanded our industry. We've expanded our population. We've got a lot of unemployed beavers at the moment, and when the waters return, I'll put them back to work in the gear factory and the lumber yard and the food factory there. Oh, I can actually turn these back on now, can't I? That's fine. Yeah, but we will leave it there for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. We didn't get bad tide. We did not get a bad tide. That's good. But it doesn't mean we haven't yet managed to test this properly. But that's fine. It'll happen. Please do give us a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed it and you want to see more. Please check out the other videos on my channel as well. Give us any comments down below. And please join us next time. Until then, I've been John. This has been Timberborn. Please do take care of yourselves, stay safe, and bye-bye.